friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we have an exciting video. We're doing a fall vibe video. Listen, I'm an October baby. I was born in the land of autumn, aka New England, and fall holds such a special place in my heart. I live in Florida now, and we've been blessed with some days that dipped below 80, and that feels like fall to me at this point. So I am sharing 3 delicious dinner idea recipes, and I don't think it would be fair to you or to I to go through fall without some delicious coffee creations. So in this video, I'm sharing a sheet pan meal, a crock pot soup, because hello, obviously, and a delicious creamy macaroni and cheese that has a very special fall ingredient in it. And then we're making some coffee creations at home in the forms of homemade creamer and some flavored syrup for coffee. So I've got you guys covered, okay? And my husband's gonna be popping in at the end of this, and we're gonna rate and rank everything that is shared in this video so you can know our honest feedback on it. If you happen to be new here, hi, how are you? How's the family? Thank you so much for clicking on that thumbnail and giving me a chance. On this channel, I do a lot of recipe inspiration. So if you're looking to set the dinner menu, please feel free to check out the rest of my channel. And if you enjoy the vibe while you're here, I'd love it if you'd subscribe. All of the recipes will be included down below, but let's go see how they came together. Okay friends, we are starting out this fall recipe video with one perfect for the nights when fall sports have taken over your schedule and your life. We are doing a sheet pan meal with some maple Dijon chicken thighs, sweet potatoes, and butternut squash. I got the maple Dijon marinade made in the morning for the chicken thighs. This was the star of the show, you guys. I'll have exact measurements in the description box, but it had Dijon mustard, maple syrup, some avocado oil, some minced garlic, apple cider vinegar, poultry seasoning, smoked paprika, a little allspice for a little something extra, salt, and black pepper. I let it marinate throughout the day, and then you'll see me come back later and prep some butternut squash and sweet potato for the epic sheet pan meal. Sheet pans are so great for getting big portions made. For us, we use it to basically meal prep, but if you have a big family, this would be a great nutritious dinner option for your fall menu.
I have found my reasons now to keep my burdens left behind. I did not know what it would bring. Now I'm capable of everything. Sky where my soul is harmonized. Don't know why I couldn't see that I'm capable of everything. Capable of everything.
Now, something I've shared with you guys before here is that I am unfortunately not a pumpkin spice girly. I love that everyone who is gets to have a special treat they look forward to for the season in the form of pumpkin. But for me, I love that this time of year means more apple and more maple. So I'm doing both. I made an apple cider syrup for coffee and a salted maple coffee creamer. These pair so well together, but they were also so delicious on their own. For the syrup, I combined apple cider, brown sugar, ground cinnamon, vanilla extract, and a pinch of salt. Just 5 items. I let it simmer on the stove, kicked off the heat, and then let it cool a little bit. I transferred those to little jars and kept them in the fridge. If you were a fan of the Starbucks apple pie macchiato last year that I heard they didn't bring back this year, you will love the syrup to make your own lattes at home. Now for the creamer, I had my saucepan on medium heat and I added a cup of heavy cream and a cup of milk, but you could do 2 cups of half and half. I brought in maple syrup and sweetened condensed milk. I let that just heat up, never getting to a place where it's simmering or boiling. And then I kicked off the heat completely, added in some vanilla extract, flaky sea salt, and some ground cinnamon. I let that cool down before transferring it into more of those jars. Those hold up for about a week in the fridge, but I have a feeling you'll work through it before the week is up with how delicious it is in your morning coffee. Next on the menu is a stuffed pepper soup. Now, I didn't make the name up. I can see a lot of people being like, okay, but the pepper is cut up and not at all stuffed. But I feel like something like deconstructed stuffed pepper doesn't really roll off the tongue. So I can see why they went this direction instead. Anyways, if you've watched my videos before, you're probably sick of me campaigning for cooking ground meat in the crock pot. But I gotta talk about it again, you guys, in case you're new here. It is such an easy way to prep big batches of protein for you and your family. So here, before making the soup itself, I took a 2.5-pound package of ground turkey and got it in the crock pot with some seasoning, garlic, and onion to start cooking. I then prepped myself some bell pepper for the soup and added some of it right in to flavor the ground turkey. I cooked it on high for an hour or 2, just making sure to break the meat up every so often to make sure it's cooking evenly. I ended up pulling about 1.5 pounds of it for other recipes and left 1 pound of it for the soup recipe after draining the grease, of course. This is a great way to work once, but get multiple meals out of this protein. I then started adding in the other elements of the soup, which were crushed tomatoes, fire roasted diced tomatoes, corn, a few cups of chicken broth. I seasoned it with Italian seasoning, ground annatto, which is like a chili powder, smoked paprika, salt, and black pepper. I then went ahead and zested a lime with such aggression that the entire thing fell right into the hot tub. Loved that for me. I also juiced about half of it into it. I also added a little bit of honey to help balance out the acidity of the tomato, and that was a vibe you won't want to skip. If you don't have honey, you could probably do brown sugar or even maple syrup. I let that cook on low for a few hours. This can be served over rice for the true stuffed pepper experience, but we do pop in at the end of this video to share our feedback on it and how we decided to serve it. Last up, we have a recipe that's probably going to get made at least once a month over here, if not more. Butternut Squash Macaroni and Cheese. I started in my blender combining milk, heavy cream, and steamed butternut squash until it was smooth. Back in a big pot, I made a standard roux using some butter, garlic, and all-purpose flour. And then I worked in the butternut squash mixture with some chicken broth and cream cheese. I stirred that really good until the cream cheese had melted and then added in some cheddar cheese and Parmesan. I seasoned it with smoked paprika, ground mustard. That is one of my secret ingredients every time I make a macaroni and cheese. Ground mustard gives it a little something. It's awesome. And then, of course, salt and pepper. I mixed in some al dente elbows I had made earlier until everything was fully coated and I got that satisfying cheese pull. Friends, we're actually about to film a taste test for another video. But while I have my man here, his schedule cleared up, my people called his people, we were able to get him here in the studio. So while he's here, I wanted to share some feedback on the recipes from this video because I need to land it with you guys.
She needs to land it.
I need you guys to understand, and a voiceover isn't gonna do the trick.
No.
My outro is not gonna do the trick. I'm just simply not good enough. I needed to call in the big guns, and the big guns are here. So
That's right.
Welcome Thank you for coming with your biceps today, John. Listen up. In this video, we shared fall recipes.
Okay.
Okay, and you might not remember, but we started off strong with that maple Dijon chicken thigh sheet pan meal.
That's right.
And it was very simple, super easy, but something about that chicken, bro. I forget how much I love chicken thighs, you guys. I forget. And it's, you know what I love about chicken thighs is like the next day I feel like they're even better.
They just soak everything up.
So good. So anyways, that was a stunner. And then we had the, you didn't drink these, I don't think, but I made apple cider syrup for coffee.
Did not.
He didn't try that. And I made salted maple caramel. No, I made salted maple creamer for coffee. You also did not partake in that.
Did not.
He's not a basic girl like me, but I am a fall basic girl. Okay. I cannot recommend either of those enough. So good. And a little goes a long way with both of them. So just do yourself a favor. If you happen to also not be like the biggest pumpkin spice fan, you'll probably love that. Last up, no, not last up, second to last, we made butternut squash macaroni and cheese.
You made. I had no part of it.
That's true. I was trying to give team credit, but that's
Listen,
fine.
I do enough where I don't need credit.
Okay, but you are always doing something in the background to free me up to make butternuts.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
So, anyways, butternut squash, macaroni and cheese, been on my agenda forever. Just never got around to it. And now I'm mad at myself for the years that I went without butternut squash mac and cheese. It's the best mac and cheese I've ever had. And I make a killer mac and cheese. It's not like we're coming from the slums here, you guys.
We're coming from standards set high already, all right?
And it's something about it. There's like this tiny sweetness in the background, but it was a vibe. And my kids devoured it. We've been eating it. It made such a big batch. It's a vibe, okay?
My thing with the mac and cheese, you don't tell anybody that it's got butternut squash in it. They're just going to think it's the best mac and cheese they've ever
They would
had.
never know.
They're like, oh my
so
God,
if you have those kids that are picky eaters,
don't tell them.
Don't tell them. They wouldn't know. It's the same color anyway.
If you have
it's the same
husbands
color.
that are picky eaters,
they wouldn't know. And I'm not trying to sit here and say that macaroni and cheese is a nutritious option or anything, but everything in moderation. Just, make yourself a reasonable portion of it, but it at least has some vitamins and nutrients in it because of the butternut squash.
I mean, it's butternut squash. It's healthy.
But the best thing about this is that because it's that creamy style macaroni and cheese, again, when it came to the leftovers, it was still great. Like even reheated just in the microwave, it's still so good. Now, what we were doing was pairing it with the last one we need to talk about. And the reason that I'm even doing this is because John was just inhaling some of it right before we were about to do a taste test for another video. And I said, you know what, let's get on camera and talk about the stuffed pepper soup. What happened was I made the soup in the crock pot and it looked like chili. So both of us went to go eat it and both of us were like, oh yeah, it's good. But we both went in thinking
it looked like chili.
It looked like chili.
We're like, but it's not chili.
But it's not my chili. Like my chili is a very specific chili. So it's like
very specific, amazing.
It's very specific. Thank you, John. Thank you for the feedback.
I need to emphasis on the falafel.
And on the other syllable. It's put the whatever. Anyways, so we both took a bite. And then that night we were both like, yeah, it's good. But we were both like, not like, it wasn't mediocre or anything. It just wasn't hitting us. The next day for leftovers, went in fresh-eyed, right? And it's a vibe. It is a vibe.
It's a vibe.
And what I've been doing is putting a little bit, because the stuffed pepper soup has no type of starch in it. So there's no potato. So the idea with that soup is normally people would probably serve that over like rice because a stuffed pepper usually has rice in it. We had the butternut squash mac and cheese already made. So I was like, yo, why not put a little clump of that down and then pour the stuffed pepper soup over it? And they were a match made in heaven. So anyways, we just wanted to get that feedback over. If I had to score each of them, the chicken meal, I'm going 8.5.
I'm going 8.
8, okay. The apple cider, I don't know why I keep wanting to say apple spice syrup,
okay.
Which technically it kind of is, but apple. I like to eat apples and banana. Okay. Apple cider syrup. I'm giving a 10. Salted maple creamer, 9.5. Then what was the next one? Oh, butternut squash mac and cheese, 10.
10.
And the stuffed pepper soup, I'm probably going 8.5. Woo, look at us. Look at us tying it up. But I truly think every single one of these deserves a spot on your menu rotation sometime in the Burr months. Okay, so we've got September, we've got October, and we've got November and December.
Oh.
Burr.
We live in Florida.
I know, but nobody, as soon as it dips below 80, that's basically winter, John. Duh. So we are in the Burr months now, okay? We're in September, and any of these months deserve these on your menu. So just, there's plenty of them, spread them out, repeat them. You'll be happy you did. All right, we are gonna get that feedback over to corporate. Thank you so much for being here. I hope we delivered whatever you needed when you clicked on that thumbnail. I hope we convinced you to subscribe today. Subscribe before you leave the party, and I hope you have a magical day. Bye.